Hey there, friends. Here's a little discussion I want to have with you all about something that's been a reoccurring theme for the last 32 years of my career. My friend Tony Kobe, I love my brother Tony Kobe. I remember when I first made the decision to quit my job in advertising and go into music full time. And, he and I would just listen to albums. We'd get stoned and listen to albums for like hours and hours. And we both just really loved music, as did most of my friends. And one of those nights we were sitting there in his apartment, just like looking at the walls, checking out the colors that we were seeing, listening to something. And he goes, "Do you think that being a musician full-time will impede your enjoyment of music? Like, is it going to change you? Is it going to change how you appreciate music?" And believe it or not, I had given that some thought, because maybe you're the same, but I love music so much that it's actually overall far more important to me than having the ability to make it myself, just to write and create my own songs. Like, that's secondary to my joy of music, like how much I love and enjoy listening. And so I thought about that, and I looked at him square in the eye, bloodshot eyes, and said, "Yeah, I think it might. I think it might. I hope it doesn't, but I think it might." And I can tell you honestly that over the last 32 years, yes, it has somewhat, sometimes more than others, gotten in the way of my enjoyment of music. Maybe it's the time matter that I have to put into music, and it's gotten worse in the last few years, the last several years, since Spotify came around, and I don't know, there's just no money anymore. So you have to work 10 times harder than you ever had to. Social media, all of this makes you work 10 times harder than you ever did before. You can't rely on anything. So perhaps even in the last 7 to 10 years, it's been worse. But yes, it did curtail my ability to enjoy music just on a pure level, just where I could just sit down for hours and listen. But, and maybe this means I'm a step closer to retirement. I don't know. Shh. But if you can see in the background, that's my turntable and another set of speakers, the same monitors that I have in front of me this way for recording. I pulled it from downstairs and put it up on a table so that I can have my record collection, or at least my preamp, my turntable, and my speakers up here, because what really tipped it for me is I got that new 7 LP, 7 record Springsteen box set, the Tracks 2, and I've had it for like, I don't know, how long has it been out? Almost 2 weeks. And I hadn't listened to it. And I was like, wait, what? Right? And then I'd gotten some other vinyl that I wanted to listen to, and I wasn't listening to it. So I was like, okay, putting it up here, and I'm going to sit and make sure that I spend time getting through this Springsteen collection. I just listened to LP1, the 83 Garage sessions, and I'm going to listen to a lot more stuff. I did at one point in my career, this is kind of funny, I don't know why, Fridays, but for some reason I picked Fridays to not work over the last 15 years. And I had a little ritual that on Fridays, I was going to listen to music. So I would put on at least 2 to 3 records that were in my pile, which was getting higher and higher when I was still living in Nashville. So that was my little ritual to force myself to listen. But I had noticed that since moving here to London, I hadn't listened hardly at all. So that's about to change. So yes, Tony Kobe, it does affect your enjoyment of music. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy it as much, because I still get a thrill when I put on a record from one of my favorite artists and crank that sucker up. It really is something. What do you think?